Hey guys, welcome to another Top Table Wargaming YouTube video. This is a bit of a short video, it's more of a shout out video. As you've probably gathered if you mix in most of the YouTube circles that I mix in, I'm a big Hobbit player more than anything else. And myself, the GBHL lads, James at Hotgates Gaming, Andreas the Norwegian Viking, the Copenhagen Hobbit League, etc., the Irish Hobbit League. Everyone in that community, we all always shout each other out and we try and get each other on each other's videos and things like that. This is more of a nod to Luke's APS. If you're not already on that channel, if you're not subscribed, go and have a look. Just search on YouTube, Luke's APS. It's a channel which is, in a way, it's kind of similar to mine. There's a lot of terrain building and stuff on there. He's got a lot of content, he manages to pump a lot of content out, and it's all really good content. There's lots of hints and tips on there, cheaper and easier ways of doing certain things or getting certain products, which is awesome. You know, you can save a couple of quid here and there, then that's beneficial. It's more money for toys. So yeah, so this is a nod to Luke. Keep up the good work, mate. Massive follower of your channel. And the reason that I'm doing this video is, a lot of you know that I'm running the Scouring of Cheshire this year in July. It's creeping up on us and I've got a lot of terrain to do. And I've honed my skills really through watching different YouTube channels like the Terrain Shooter, like Luke's APS, and just adding things of my own in, different techniques and things to make life easier for myself. And one of the things which is quite important when building terrain, and you learn quite quickly, especially if you're painting it, you can't use your miniature paints. You've got a little pot this big and you're painting a piece of terrain this big, and they're not cheap paints. It's going to cost you a fortune, so you've got to cut corners, you've got to go to your B&M bargains, you've got to get your tester pots from B&Q, you've got to do all these things. And the funny thing is that the paint's great, but it's not the same quality as what you're going to get in a Citadel paint or a Vallejo paint. It's thicker, you thin it down, but you thin it down, you lose a lot of the colour. It becomes very thin in colour, I mean, because there's not as much pigment in it. So yeah, so you quickly learn new techniques of how to do things, mixing certain things, putting things in it to help get the paint you need to make your terrain look good. One of the pieces which I learned most about this was the Prancing Pony, which I got a lot of feedback on, which was awesome. It's brilliant to build a piece of terrain that you're looking at and you're happy with. You know, but even I like questioning myself on certain things, and you post a picture up on Facebook, and the feedback I got from Prancing Pony was just, it was amazing. It was amazing. It kind of egged me on to keep going and keep pushing myself. And you'll find if you're managing to get to the tournament in July, you'll be able to see, and on some tables I've done it on purpose. On the Hobbiton board, I've got bag end, which you've seen also, and I've done 3 or 4 standard Hobbit holes. Now I'm only going to have 2 Hobbit holes on the board, bag end and another single. And of the normal Hobbit holes, I'm not putting, in my opinion, which is the best one, I'm putting the first one that I built. And the reason I'm doing it is just to simply show I've gone from that to that. So you can see the first Hobbit hole that I built, very, very basic, and I've done a video of it on the channel. And then bag end, and it just shows the difference. And when I say the difference, I mean the difference in a couple of weeks, maybe a month, makes when you're picking up these techniques and you're doing it, you're hands-on, and you're building the pieces, and you'll do something and you'll realise that there's an easier way of doing it, so you do that next time, and then, you know, it snowballs from there. So yeah, so I've not put the best Hobbit hole on that board for that reason, just so that, you know, when people are there and I can chat to people and they're asking me, I can say, well, I've gone from that, which is very, very basic, to that. And you know, the only way you're going to get decent looking terrain like that is by doing it, having a go yourself. You're going to make mistakes. The amount of stuff I've thrown away, you know, trying to build stuff for this tournament is insane. But you know, you learn from your mistakes, so give it a go. Anyway, back on track. The shout out to Luke is he done a video where he was showing how to make your own washes, as did I on my video. They were quite similar. I think his way saves you a couple of quid, so it's definitely worth checking out. I used both, and it's hard to say One's better than the other because they're not. It's one thing will do something a better way than the other, and you know, they have the plus and minuses. So try them out and see which suits you, your painting style, etc. But in a video that Luke done for painting dead zone terrain, he done a different technique for making a wash, a technique which I'd never thought of. Excuse me. And I thought I'd give it a go. That looks cool, because I was painting at the time my Goblin Town Scenery. I got tons of sprues of Goblin Town Scenery from Games Workshop for the Goblin Town board, which I'm now working on. I needed to get all these sprues painted up, and it is so tedious. I started painting them by hand using a little pot of brown paint, base coating them, and then washing them individually using the washes with a brush. It was just taking forever, because then you've got to pick out the bones. I don't know if you've not seen these sprues. There's a lot of skulls and bones and different little things that you could ignore, I suppose, from a distance, from 4 or 5 foot away. You're not going to notice, but if you're playing on the board, you know, you want it to look right. So I want to pick all these details out. So I need to save as much time as I can, because doing it by brush individually was just taking forever. So what I've done, I went and got a big pot of just a brown paint. It doesn't matter, it's sort of medium brown, I'd say like a chocolate brown from B&M Bargains. It wasn't the exact colour that I wanted. That doesn't matter. All you have to do is, once you're mixing up you know, your actual, in your mixer pot, enough to do so many sprues, it's not dark enough, just a couple of drops of black, not a lot. You can use your model paints for that, because you literally need a couple of drops to darken a paint. Don't go mad with black. Don't pour loads in, mix it, because you're just going to end up with a lighter black. Put it in drop by drop, mix it, because it does go a long way. So I darkened it down a bit. I got, again, B&M Bargains, a pack of household paintbrushes for painting your house in, for I think it was 99p, got 5 of them or something, 1.5" brush. Mixed up the paint, whacked all the brown paint on each of the sprues, left them to dry. Looked fantastic. I then got some, the same paint that I'd already mixed, and I added some beiges, some like a light ochre into there, just to line it up a bit. You need a small amount again, because the next stage is dry brushing. Same brushes, dry brushed all the sprues. Now at this stage, if you do use this technique, don't worry, it does look a bit, you're like, oh, I don't know if this is turning out right, but it does, trust me. You like, just give it one dry brush, highlight, done. You could also at this stage, I didn't do it just simply because it was late, it was like 2 in the morning when I was doing this, and I didn't think. In hindsight, I would have done. I'd have started painting on the bones now, using obviously a smaller brush, just picking the bones out with a beige or, you know, a bone colour before I washed them. Like I said, I didn't do it just because I forgot, and then I had to go and, after the fact, wash all the bones with a sepia wash, which it looks nice, it looks good. So I mean, I'm not unhappy with how it turned out. To save a bit of time, I would have done it at that stage. I had to do it after the fact, and it was fine. But if you're doing it, I do recommend you get your dry brush done, you pick out your bones, and then using Luke's technique, I'll cut to another clip of the video to explain what the product is that he uses and how he mixes it. But using his technique was, I kind of doctored it a little bit because he was painting it on with a brush, just haphazardly, which worked great. But his pieces for the dead zone were like probably 2-3 inch square pieces. They were smaller, so it was quite easy to do that. These are sprues, which are this big, and I had 25 of them or something silly like that. And I just didn't want to paint. It was going to get wash everywhere. So I had a Tupperware dish, which was quite shallow dish. Sort of imagine a shallow oven dish size, something you'd roast your turkey in, but it was made in plastic. I put the mix in there, and I dipped the whole sprue in, one side, other side, shook it off, put it on the side to dry, and it worked great. I'm not going to go any more into that, just cut to this next clip, yeah, show you me doing it, and we'll come back in a second. So guys, excuse the mess of my work desk. There is organised chaos on my workbench at all times. I kind of know what's going on and nobody else does. As I've said previously in the video, I just wanted to show you what I've done with this technique and how I sort of converted it from being a paint on shading technique to be a dip for terrain pieces or whole sprues, even if you wanted to, if you were painting whole sprues of even miniatures without taking them off the sprues, this can be used. Obviously, like I've said, also this is a massive shout out to Luke from Luke's APS on YouTube, and this is totally his find, his idea. I'm an avid watcher of his videos, and I've been speaking to Luke. He's a really cool guy, so I do recommend that you get over to Luke's APS YouTube channel and check his videos out. So yeah, so he suggested using this floor wax. It's Pledge multi-surface wax. It does come in slightly different packaging, but this is the exact same as the one that he uses in his video to make the washes. And all I've done, I've got a nice flat container like this. Poured in some multi-surface wax to the depth of about 10 ml, and to that I added black ink and a little bit of brown ink until I got like the consistency of colour that I wanted. And all we do from there is basically grab our sprue. As you can see, this is a Goblin Town sprue, which I've base coated in brown and then highlighted, dry brush, dead straightforward, dead easy, with a lighter brown. And all we're going to do is dip it. So we do one side, get nice coverage, flip it over, do the other side, and I do recommend gloves. It's going to be very messy this, and put newspaper down, etc., and give it a good shake. You don't need any excess on there. Yeah, I think it's the wax that's in this product that just gives the surface a nice coating, and it is really nice. So you could, I've done a tutorial video on how to make different washes, etc., which you may or may not have seen. Check that out. And it's a perfectly fine way to make washes to use for your miniatures and have a nice stockpile of the wash for painting small minis. But this is just ideal for doing terrain. Again, not even if it's a dip, you know, just doing yourself, pre-mixing yourself a big pot, getting your terrain painted up, and yeah, just washing it all. That's how easy it is. I've just done 2 pieces in literally what, 30 seconds. I think I've probably got about 25 sprues. They're all done, they're all drying. So what I'll try and do is show you the result, and I'll show you that later on in the video. So I'll see you in a minute. So that's it, guys. That's how easy it is. I'll show you at the end of the video the result of how it looks. I'm like really happy with how it looks. It saves so much time, and saved a lot of money. So Luke, thanks mate, really appreciate your videos. I always have them on in the background when I'm pottering around in my hobby space, and I've picked up a lot of tips. Like I said, if you've not checked out his YouTube channel, go and check it out. It's really cool. It's really cool, and he does get a lot of content now. I'm quite jealous how much time he has. But yeah, big thumbs up. Hoping to work with you in the future, pal, and yeah, I'll see you soon. So that's it, guys. Like I said, I'll put some pictures on now when I finish waffling on, and you can see the finished products of the Goblin Town sprue. I'm not going to show you the board, I'll just show you the sprue, how it looked after that paint job. And let me know if you give it a go. If you've got sprues sat there and you've not thought of painting them because you think, oh, well, it's going to take too long, give this technique a go. It's very quick, it's very easy. Just be careful. Like I said, it was 2 in the morning. When I finished with the sprues, dipping them, I made a terrible mistake, and I knocked my dish and it tilted towards me, fell on my lap, my shorts, everything was covered in black wash. The wife wasn't too impressed when she got up in the morning, and there was shorts, t-shirts, socks all covered in black wash next to the washing machine for her. But yeah, just be careful, put some newspaper down, have a nice flat surface, you know, that's steady and stuff, and you'll be fine. So we'll cut to the end result. Keep on gaming, guys, keep on watching, post some comments, let me know what you want to see on the channel, and I will see you all soon. Take care, bye.